Hi there, beautiful soul. Welcome to Elder Insights, a gentle space where we talk about life, transitions, and finding peace in every season we walk through. I hope today finds you well and feeling supported. Sometimes it happens quietly. You open your closet, not to choose something special, but just to take a look, and you pause. Not because you're looking for anything in particular, but because standing there in the stillness, you feel something. Hangers filled with clothes from another chapter. Blouses that once made you feel beautiful. Pants that haven't fit in years, but still hang there. Like maybe, just maybe, they'll come back into your life. Scarves tucked away, holding memories of people or places long gone. You're not trying to hold on to clutter. You're holding on to time, to feelings, to versions of yourself that were once very real. And yet, somewhere in all of it, a quiet voice asks, do I still need this? Does this still feel like me? I understand. Letting go isn't just physical. It's emotional. It's saying goodbye to who we were, or who we thought we might still be. But here's the quiet truth. Every time we release what no longer serves us, we make room for what truly does. More space, more clarity, more ease. In this video, we'll walk through a simple, heart-guided checklist for decluttering your closet, specifically crafted for women over 60. It's not just about cleaning out your wardrobe. It's about creating room for comfort, for peace, and for your present self. If that sounds like something you need, I invite you to share this video and subscribe to the channel. And leave a comment too. Press 1 if this resonates with you, or 0 if it's not quite your thing. Your voice helps shape this space, and your presence here means the world. Let's begin this gentle journey together. Number 1. Let go of clothes that no longer fit comfortably. Let's start with one of the most common and most emotional places to begin. Letting go of the clothes that no longer fit comfortably. Now, I want to say something right up front. This isn't about numbers on a tag, or what society says we should wear. This is about you. Your body now. Your comfort now. Your life now. I remember standing in front of my own closet a few years ago, running my hands along a row of dresses I hadn't worn in ages. There was one in particular, a deep blue wrap dress I used to wear to every family gathering. It made me feel elegant, strong, seen. But the last time I tried it on, I could barely breathe. It tugged in all the wrong places. And yet, I hung it back up, not ready to let it go. Why? Because it reminded me of a version of myself I missed. But one morning, I had a quiet realization. That dress didn't honor who I was anymore. It honored who I used to be, and keeping it didn't make me that woman again. It just reminded me that I wasn't. That moment helped me shift my thinking. What if, instead of holding on out of guilt or nostalgia, I only kept what felt good on my skin, what let me move, stretch, breathe, be? So here's something you can try. Step into your closet with a single question in mind. Does this item bring comfort to my body today? Not 5 years ago. Not if I lose a little weight. Not, but I paid so much for it. Just today. Try on a few things. Move around in them. Sit down. Bend over. Reach up. Does it feel like you can live in this piece of clothing without discomfort? If the answer is no, take a breath and say this out loud. I thank this piece for what it gave me, and now I let it go. You don't need to toss everything right away. Start a maybe box if that feels easier. Give yourself permission. to come back to it later. But start, because comfort, dear friend, is not a luxury. It's a basic kindness. And as we get older, choosing clothes that fit us, not clothes we feel pressured to fit into, is one of the most loving choices we can make for ourselves. Think of it like this. You deserve to move through your day with ease, to not wince at a waistband or constantly adjust a sleeve. You deserve softness, flexibility, freedom in every step. So let the snug skirts go. Let the tight blouses have their rest. They served you once, but their job is done now. Make space for sweaters that hug you gently, pants with room to breathe, blouses that move with you, not against you. Because this stage of life, it's not about squeezing into old shapes. It's about expanding into who you truly are without apology. Number 2, release anything you haven't worn in over a year. Let's talk about something that's quietly sitting in many of our closets. Those clothes we haven't worn in over a year. You know the ones. They're not uncomfortable. They're not even out of style. They're just untouched, hanging there, waiting, collecting little bits of dust and time. I used to have a pale yellow cardigan like that. It was soft and sweet, and I used to wear it every spring when the daffodils bloomed in my garden. But one year I didn't reach for it, and then the next year came, and I didn't wear it then either. Still, it stayed, because in some quiet way, it reminded me of the person I was when I wore it most. Carefree, busy in the yard, hands in the dirt, sunlight on my shoulders. I kept it because I thought letting it go would mean losing her. But the truth is, she's not in the cardigan. She's still in me. That moment changed how I looked at the items. I wasn't reaching for any more. So here's something you can do today. One gentle drawer or rack at a time. Turn each hanger around backward. Yes, literally. Let the hook face the opposite direction. Then, over the next few months, when you wear something, hang it back the normal way. At the end of a season, or even after a few months, you'll have a very clear picture of what you actually reach for. No guesswork, no guilt, just awareness. And for the items still hanging backward, ask yourself softly, why am I keeping this? Sometimes the answer is practical. I might need this for a wedding. Or it's for cold weather. That's fair. But often, the answer is tied to memory or a sense of loss. My daughter bought me this. I wore this the day I got the good news. This reminds me of when I felt more like myself. That's when you pause. Place your hand on your heart, because it's okay to hold the memory, but you don't have to hold the item to keep the memory alive. One viewer once wrote in saying, I finally donated my favorite blazer after realizing I was saving it for a version of me that no longer needs it. That line stayed with me, because that's what this is really about. Not losing anything, but honoring how far you've come. So let go of the clothes that time passed by. Free up that space for items you love now, pieces that support the woman you are today. Imagine opening your closet and seeing only clothes that reflect who you truly are right now. That's not just decluttering. That's healing. You're not saying goodbye to who you were. You're saying yes to who you're becoming. Number 3, say goodbye to outdated trends that no longer reflect you. Let's take a moment to talk about style. Not trends, not fads, but the kind of style that feels like home when you put it on. Over the years, Many of us have followed the waves of fashion. We've worn the shoulder pads, the bold prints, the high-waisted everything. Some of those pieces made us feel fabulous. Others, we wore them because someone told us we should. But here's the question. Do those pieces still reflect the woman you are today? I remember pulling out a pair of bright red slacks I used to wear in my early 50s. They were bold, lively. They made a statement wherever I went. Back then, I loved how they turned heads. But when I tried them on last year, I looked in the mirror and felt like I was wearing someone else's story. They didn't feel like me anymore. They felt loud. When these days, I lean into softness, into calm. It wasn't about age. It was about alignment. They no longer matched who I had become. We evolve. Our needs shift. Our energy changes. And our clothing, if we allow it to, can follow that evolution with grace. You don't have to hold on to items just because they were once in style. You don't owe anything to trends. What you do owe yourself is honesty, comfort, joy. So here's a gentle exercise. Pull out 3 pieces you haven't worn in a while, that were clearly trendy at one point. Look at each one and ask, do I wear this because I love it, or because I used to feel like I should love it? If it's the latter, give yourself permission to let it go, not with judgment, with gratitude. Say, thank you for the times we shared, but I've grown, and you no longer reflect me. It's a bit like friendships. Some were perfect for a season, but aren't meant to last forever. And that's okay. Letting go of outdated trends doesn't mean you're giving up or slowing down. It means you're making room for authenticity. You're creating a wardrobe that mirrors your wisdom, your serenity, your fire, whatever makes you now. You may find yourself drawn to soft earth tones, or flowy fabrics that don't cling, or maybe clean lines, simple elegance, a scarf that adds just enough flair. There's no right or wrong, only what feels true to your spirit. Because when you dress in alignment with your present self, something beautiful happens. You feel more at ease. You walk a little lighter. You stop trying to be seen and start simply being known. So go ahead. Say goodbye to what no longer feels like a reflection, and hello to what feels like you. You're not following fashion anymore. You're following truth, and it looks lovely on you. Number 4. Declutter duplicate items you rarely reach for. Now, let's talk about something that sneaks into closets quietly, almost without notice. Duplicate items. You know the ones. 3 black cardigans that look nearly identical, 4 pairs of navy slacks, each just a shade different, but not really. 10 scarves in the same floral pattern, bought at different times, but all somehow the same. I get it. We often collect similar pieces because they feel safe, familiar, reliable. Sometimes we buy a second one because the first was a favorite. Other times it just happens. We forget what we already have, or we reach for the same style again and again because it once served us well. But here's the thing. More doesn't always mean better. And too many of the same item can actually create more confusion, not less. I remember opening my drawer one afternoon and realizing I had 6 nearly identical white blouses. Each one had a slightly different collar or sleeve, but none of them were truly special. And you know what? I always wore the same too. The others just sat there. taking up space, and silently asking, why not me? That day, I did something. That changed how I look at clothing forever. I took all 6 out and lined them up. Then, one by one, I tried them on, not with critical eyes, but with honest ones. I asked myself, which ones do I naturally reach for? Which one fits best, feels best, brings a quiet smile when I put it on? I kept 2. The rest? I thanked them and let them go. And you know what happened next? Clarity. I didn't have to sort through maybes anymore. I had what worked. No more frustration. No more extra laundry. Just ease. If you're not sure where to begin, start with one small group. Maybe your long-sleeve tops, or the drawer of scarves that's been slowly overflowing. Lay them out where you can see them, touch them. Notice how many feel nearly identical. Then try them on, not with pressure, but with curiosity. Which one feels just right on your shoulders? Which one makes you feel the most like yourself? Letting go of duplicates doesn't mean those pieces were mistakes. It just means they've done their part. And now, it's time for you to choose what truly serves you today. This isn't about having less. It's about surrounding yourself with things that give you joy, not decisions to second guess. A curated wardrobe is like a peaceful room. It gives you space to breathe, space to move, space to be. And here's a gentle reminder. When you pass those extra pieces on, someone else gets to discover them fresh. They don't go to waste. They go to new homes, to new lives, to new mornings. You deserve a closet that feels easy, not overwhelming. That reflects your simplicity, not excess. That offers choice, not confusion. A wardrobe that quietly says yes every time you open the door. So let go of the extras. Keep what you cherish, and trust that in doing so, you're making space, not just on the hangers, but in your life. Number 5. Part with someday clothes that no longer match your lifestyle. Some clothes don't just hang in our closets. They hold promises. A dress saved for someday. A pair of heels you used to wear for big events. A tailored blazer that once fit the rhythm of a different kind of life. These aren't just clothes. They're symbols of who we were, who we thought we'd be, or who we hoped might return one day. It's not wrong to hold on to them. It makes sense. Letting go of these pieces feels like closing a door we're not sure we're ready to shut. I remember a soft mauve suit that hung in the back of my closet for almost a decade. It had sharp lines, beautiful buttons, and every time I looked at it, I thought, that's the outfit I'll wear when I'm asked to speak again. When I'm back in that space, doing what I used to do. But life took a different turn. The invitation stopped. My pace slowed. My values shifted. The truth was, I hadn't worn it in 10 years. And in my heart, I knew I likely never would. But I kept it because it represented a version of me I didn't want to lose. It wasn't just about the suit. It was about the identity stitched into it. When I finally took it down, I held it for a long time, not rushing, not shaming myself for keeping it, just listening to the memories, to the longing, to the quiet acceptance rising inside me. That version of me was still part of me, just not the whole story anymore. So I let it go, not to erase her, but to make room for who I had become. That moment was tender, but freeing. It taught me something important, that someday clothes can weigh us down, when we're trying to live in the now. You might have pieces like that too. A swimsuit you once wore on beach vacations. A dress for weddings that no longer happen. Outfits for a life that no longer fits. You don't have to let go all at once. You can sit with each piece. Hold it. Remember it. Ask yourself gently, does this reflect the life I'm living now? And if the answer is no, bless it and release it, because what you need now are clothes that meet you where you are, clothes that honor the walks you take around the neighborhood, the books you read, in the soft light of morning, the comfort you seek on quiet afternoons, the ease, the stillness, the reality of your beautiful present life. Letting go of someday doesn't mean giving up hope. It means living fully in what is, with both feet in the now and a heart open to what's real, not just what's remembered. And in that space, there's peace, there's freedom, there's the gift of seeing yourself as worthy, just as you are. You've taken a quiet walk through your wardrobe today, but truly, it's been a walk through time, through identity, through the seasons of your life. From letting go of what no longer fits, to saying goodbye to the pieces that once made promises for someday. You've created space, not just in your closet, but in your heart, your mind, your home. And in that space, you've made room for something far more meaningful. Ease, comfort, self-respect, a deep honoring of the woman you are today, not who you used to be, not who others expect you to be, just you, as you are now. That's no small thing. That's courage. That's wisdom. So, if you've started, even with just one hanger, one drawer, one quiet decision, know that's enough. You're already making room for a lighter, more peaceful life. And I'd love to hear from you. Was there a moment today that stirred something in you? A piece you let go of? A memory you honored? Leave a comment below and share your story. Your voice might be the exact comfort someone else needs. If this video helped you feel more in control, more seen, or simply more at ease, I'd be so grateful if you gave it a like, shared it with a friend, or subscribed to Elder Insights for more heart-centered guidance. You're not alone on this journey. We're walking it together, one thoughtful choice at a time. And until next time, be gentle with yourself. You've already done more than you know.